3 more minutes.
Oh, never mind.
Oops. Okay.
Never mind. Work with it.
All right, we're just gonna give 2 more minutes, and then Tim's gonna come on, and we're gonna start the show.
Back to you, D.
All right. Thanks.
D, do you want me gallery or speaker view?
Do the speaker view.
Got it. Good on my end.
All right. Well, we got Heather J coming in.
Silly.
Why you gotta change my seating?
All right, everybody. We're just waiting on for a couple more people to enter in, and then we're gonna get ready to start this show.
Heather.
What's up, Heather? See, she turned in.
She just dropped off, I believe.
Okay.
Jeanette, I can tell by your timeline, you're gonna be a hot mess.
There she go. What's up, TJ Tay, man?
You muted?
Yeah, TG muted too. Dre, I see Dre on. What's good? What's good?
Heather J, we can't see you. Welcome.
When you
You muted too.
Okay.
would you normally send it back to?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Okay.
There we go.
Unmute yourself, Heather J.
What's good?
There she go. What's good with you? All right. Young Ed. All right. Let me see.
Hey, Heather, looking very lovely. I'm loving that hair, that volume. All right, I think. Yep.
All right. So let's go ahead and start.
Thoughts, D, if he's ready, check for everyone.
D, you everything set up on your end or not? Yeah. D.
Yeah, we good. We good. Let's rock with it.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and get this show started. All right, so once again, my name is Timothy Hill. I am the producer of the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show. Definitely want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. But unlike any other unscripted show, you never know when some stuff may come up, during the show. And tonight's one of those nights. So tonight we lost our host, George Golliday. He's out sick, lost his voice. So he can't be with us here tonight. So instead, we have Trina, which is our co-producer. She's going to host the show tonight. This is her first time, so please take it easy on her. But I'm pretty sure she's going to do a good job. Other than that, if you have any background noise in your video, we ask that you mute it. Also, if you are going to be on camera, please have a lighted area and a good Wi-Fi signal. That way it don't drop in and out. We do have some shows coming up, 2023, live and virtual. First show is going to be January 25th at the Cola Lounge. And then we're going to come back with a virtual show February 1st. So stay tuned for those. You can find out the information on those shows on our social media pages, which is Heart to Heart RTS. You can follow that on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all social media platforms. So now that we got that out the way, definitely want to get ready to start this show. Black Leg, D-Walls, go ahead and roll that video.
Is it love or is lust? Is it all about us? Do we really have trust? Is compromising enough? Come on, let us discuss. Heart to heart, let's start the spark. Let's talk, no fuss.
Good night, everyone, and welcome to the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show. I am your girl, Trina, and normally I am behind the scenes. And tonight, sadly, we don't have our host, George Golliday, so I will be your host for tonight. So let's see how I do. Now, the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show is a platform for people all across the world to come together and address taboo topics on all things relationships. Viewers such as yourself are able to submit questions and have them answered by our celebrity panelists, and also an opportunity for you to respond to the question that was sent in. It's also an opportunity for businesses to market their brands on this show. So please take advantage of the opportunity to network within the chat, as we'll be posting all the social media platforms for our celebrity panelists and also our sponsors for tonight. And follow us on all our social media platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook at the word heart, followed by 2 Heart RTS. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and also Pharcyde TV. Now, remember, this show is interactive. So if you have any further questions or any questions that you want to submit it into the chat. We'll see if we can bring it up, and then, we'll have a little discussion. But before we get into the show, I need to just go over small rules, just little rules for us to adhere to whilst we're doing this live show. Rule number 1. As an audience member, we would like you, if you want to comment, please tap the raise hand icon that is in the chat and ensure that your cameras are turned on. You will then have 1 minute to respond to the question. 1 minute, guys. We'll give you maybe 2 here or there, but 1 minute. Feel free to express yourself however you like, but please remain respectful, as this is a judgment-free zone. Have fun, meet new people, network, don't be shy. As we said, it is very much so interactive. Now, before we start the show and I, get to question number 1, I'm going to kick it over to Dwallscantalk so that he can introduce our panelists for tonight. D, all on you.
What up, peeps? It's your boy, actor, producer, and comedian Bobby J. Coleman. Check it out. December 14th, I'm going to be bringing that heat to the Heart to Heart Virtual Relationship Talk Show. In the meantime, check me out on Tubi under the movie Shutdown. I'm starring in that, and also I'm working on a new film called Vengeful, which will be out on all streaming platforms early 2023, so be on the lookout for that. Also, if you're trying to find me on social media, look me up at Bobby J Online or Bobby J Coleman.
if I know I'm sick and I come in contact with you on purpose and you get sick, then yes, you can say that I got you sick, right? Mm-hmm. But if I don't know that I'm sick and you just so happen to get sick, just because I found out first doesn't mean that I necessarily got you sick. I mean, hell, for all I know, you could have been the one that got me sick.
Well, it sounds like to me if you were already sick and other people started getting sick, then you probably did get them sick.
Oh, whatever. No, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't all make sense to me, I guess, is what I'm saying.
You know, Jasmine, for that reason, I don't really think that we could kick it like that during this shutdown.
Miss Edison, and I'm aspiring to create something that can be there for other people in the times of a crisis. And the end goal for it is to end world suicide. And today, what I'm doing today is working on myself. Trapping Styles. That's where you can find TRAPPINGSTYLES. Trapping Styles. That's where you can find. And then on Twitter, same thing, Trapping Styles. And that's it.
I have a clothing brand called I Wear My Heart on My Sleeves. It's an emotional comfort wear brand for kids that suffer anxiety and depression.
Okay.
I started it because my little sister suffered with bulimia and she used to cut herself, so this is how I'm giving it back to the kids.
Damn, really, bro? Man, that's a very interesting insight. So you said you're a lottery winner?
Yes, came when I was 7 years old.
You have a sister that's over here too that was going through a few things and you decided to turn your pain into some passion?
100%. I wear my heart on my sleeve.
I love the title.
In Detroit, I see a lot of pain. I see a lot of pain where you can't even express yourself because you feel like your women will look at you different. So you, at the end of the day, you're not even being your authentic self because we all have emotions. Like, why do we got tears if we can't cry here and there?
My name is Alicia Watkins, and I am a social worker. I'd like to say that first. I am also started a private practice called Coaching with Dr. Alicia. I typically focus in on couples coaching. I also work with individuals, particularly with excessive worry and excessive sadness. I help to kind of lift you up and to dig down into what's going on with your thoughts and with your emotions. I also help couples deal with each other, with their thoughts and emotions with each other so that we can have nice, healthy relationships. I'm also a college professor. I am a full-time college professor of social work at my home institution, and I train social people how to become social workers. So it's really kind of cool to be a therapist and then to train other people to become therapists as well. The best way to find me is on Instagram. I'm on Instagram at Coaching with Dr. Alicia on Instagram. You can also find me on my website, which is coachingwithdralicia.com. So it's coachingwithdralicia.com.
The narratives, he wants to make the world a better place for the next generation to live in. Like, I'm attracted to that kind of man, not the man that's like just chilling. It's like,
that's so interesting. It's interesting for me to hear that because I never in a million years ever wanted a man like that. Seriously, I never wanted a man like that who not one day out of my life have I ever said, I want to be married to the next Marcus Garvey. Like, those words never came out of my mouth. You know what words did come out of my mouth?
What?
I want to be with somebody who's kind to me. I want to be with somebody who's loving to me. I want to be with somebody who's respectful. I don't care if he's a janitor sweeping up floors all day. I want someone who is going to be loyal, who's going to be committed, who's going to love me unconditionally, although it is conditional. I want someone who's going to sweep me off my feet. I never in a million years ever wanted a 6-figure, 7-figure man.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Heather J from Detroit. I'm a stand-up comic and a writer. You can find me on all social media platforms, Heather Jayh. Sapiosexual is when you're turned on by somebody's brain. The way they talk to you, the way their mind works, the things they say, witty repartee, musings, that shit gets you hot. That's sapiosexual. I am not sapiosexual. I am abs-sexual.
What up, y'all? It's your girl, Detroit Barbie. I am a new up-and-coming female artist. I will be on the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show. Y'all make sure y'all tap in. We got some juicy stuff. We gonna talk about do's, don'ts, rights, wrongs, what y'all think, what we think. Make sure y'all tap in.
Ain't ready, I get petty. And if it's by the bag full of
care, tell them set it up. It's clear they wanna see this pussy pop without no 7-Up. And if I put it on the one time, then I bet he stuck. I ain't never held a nigga back, he ain't never cut. The money keep going like et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Is it love or is lust? Is it all about us? Do we really have trust? Is compromising enough?
All right, Dwallscantalk, thank you for that video. You got me cracking up all over again because I remember putting those videos together. Bobby, that was such an easy way for you to get out of that relationship, but I ain't gonna say nothing more on that. Before I kick it off into question number 1, unfortunately, we don't have Detroit Barbie here with us tonight as she is, I think, filming now for a reality TV. So sadly, she can't tune in, but she wishes she was here and she wishes us the best for tonight. In her place, however, we do have Janet Red, aka Dirty Red, who is, always been, a great audience member for the show. And tonight we're going to have her as a panelist. And I just want to bring her up for just 1 minute so she can just tell everyone who she is and where we can find her on social media. Dirty Red.
Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. You can find me on Facebook, Jeanette Red, JANNETTE. Last name REDD. Instagram, Dirty Red Management.
And what'd you do?
What I do?
Yeah.
I gotta tell the illegal part of me. No. Actually, I'm a radio host. We actually on a break right now, but I still promote everyone's music and drop everyone's EP albums and everything. I work with Empire Distribution on the side. What else I do? No, I'm just kidding. I'm on call for y'all or anybody who need me. This phone. These phones 24 hours, so if you need me, I'm gonna get up and be like, I'm on my way, that ride or die, best friend type.
I agree with that.
Put the Mitch Mac socks on and the Mitch Mac gym shoes and jump in the truck. That's me. I'm always there for everybody.
All right, Dirty Red, we appreciate you. Thanks for jumping in for tonight. We know you're gonna bring some vibe.
I think about it. I might be stubborn tonight for y'all.
No, you won't be stubborn. We won't have that.
I like my juicy stuff.
So I'm gonna kick it off with the first question. And Mr. Tim just gave me this. All right. So this seems like a woman sent this question in. So I'm gonna just read it as it has been given to me. Is it distasteful to have sex with my boyfriend while staying at a friend or family's house that we are visiting out of town for the holidays? Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to kick this over to Heather. And I want Heather to think about going over, I'm not sure if you're in a relationship or not, but let's say you're going over to your boyfriend's family's house and you want to know if having sex is an issue or not. What's your view on that? What's your take?
It looked like Heather had, she might be having problems. She dropped off.
Okay, no problem. So, I'm going to kick it over to you, Dirty Red. And you're muted, so unmute.
Girl, quit playing. Man. We about to find a little spot. Hey, every area is always open. You know what I'm saying? That might add up to our fun list. So if they not getting it in, they might want to take notes. I'm just, she better hope it's that bad week for us. Because if not, they're going to be like, where they go? So they went for a walk. We went for a walk, all right.
So you basically have no issues with having sex at a family or friend's house?
If it's my mate and we spontaneous like that, we disappeared. I don't nobody know what we want to do. We took a walk.
Okay, so you're not in the house, you're out the house.
We out the house.
I got you.
Folks get loud, If you come to dirty department, you get loud. Some men, you can't put your hand over their mouth and they be quiet now. If it's at that one spot with them guys, they get you think that somebody got a coyote in the backyard.
All right, so okay, that's one female's perspective. Bobby, I'm gonna kick that to you. What are your views on that? What advice? Because remember, we're trying to give advice to the person that sent this question in. You know, you can give your perspective, but you know, what would be your advice?
My advice would be, the question was is it disrespectful to do that?
Is it distasteful to have sex? Yeah.
Is it distasteful? Yes. Is it? But that's the thrill of it.
But why? But why is it distasteful? Why?
Because it's almost like you're disrespecting these people's home.
Okay.
But that's what sex is nasty. You know what I'm saying? So you got to do what you got to do, and that'd be the best. I'm telling you, you get that spontaneous bang bang going. It's, you know.
So are you gonna be like Dirty Red? You going outside the house or inside the house? Which one are you doing?
Inside the house, in the bathroom. We're gonna turn the sink water on. You know, people think the sink water cover all the sound, right? That's
You better hope you ain't sharing no bathroom.
Yeah, they better hope that sink ain't loose, because we're gonna knock that mug down. Sky curtain, everything.
All right, I like that answer. All right, Edison, I'll see you. What you got for me for that question? You gotta unmute, remember.
I feel like it's not distasteful. Personally, me, I feel like I've been in that situation and I still did it. Like, it's only distasteful if you see it as distasteful. So for me, it depends on also your values and your family values. If you know that your family doesn't like that, then I feel like that's distasteful and disrespectful. But if like your family is like open hand and that's really your mate, then let's do it. But if it's not, and you're just bringing random people over, like, yeah, that's distasteful.
All right, so you saying going for it. All right.
Yeah,
Heather.
we're going for it.
Nice. Heather, I see you're back with us. You good?
Yeah, I got kicked out. Sorry.
All right, that's okay. I'm gonna bring you up to speed with this question, which we know this was written by a woman. So the question is it distasteful to have sex with my boyfriend while staying at a friend or family's house that we are visiting out of town for the holidays? So you and your boo go to his parents' house. What's your advice? Is it distasteful to have sex? Are you gonna do it?
Are we staying in the room together? Because the answers feel like it's a party. Like I got this, like we're gonna go in the bathroom and turn on the water. That sounds like we're sneaking away from a party. But if we're sleeping in a room together, obviously they know we're gonna touch each other. We're together. But if the mom is like, "Yeah, you're sleeping over here," then yeah, and I gotta sleep in the basement or some shit because she don't want me near her son. Then that means she does not want me to have sex with her child in her house. And it's absolutely distasteful because nobody invited you to the house to fuck. But that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Okay. Mom might have to make her peace with some weird noises coming from the dryer. But I mean, she put me in the basement because when moms do that, they never treat the non-child right. Like the people that don't want their kids having sex in the house, they're going to put the boyfriend or the girlfriend somewhere awkward and cold and weird, you know, in a garage or, you know, they're not going to give them no comfortable room.
Put you on two separate ends of the house. So
yeah, they're going to put you far, far away. Like that's going to stop anything. It's like he didn't stop fucking when he was 16. Why would he stop at 35? That's dumb. But yes, it's distasteful.
Okay.
Like to me, it depends on where she puts you in the house.
All right. Well, before I get to my licensed therapist, I want to kick it off to our audience members. If there's anyone that wants to chime in on this, you know, remember to tap that raise hand icon or send a message in the chat. Let's see it. I think I saw some stuff. Somebody saying go for it. But if there's no one from the audience that wants to chime in, I'm going to end it. Oh, is that Cleveland? All right, Cleveland, come on up. Cleveland.
I lived in a very permissive house, and my mother made it known that because of the dangers of, you know, how growing up in the city or whatever, you know, she didn't necessarily say I condone it, but if you're going to have sex, probably be better that you know that you could have sex here if you had to. So that kind of thing has never been hidden from my family. I mean, with, you know, the two boys. It was kind of like, you know, don't be sneaking off doing anything and get yourself in trouble. Now, I've known people who have thought completely different about that, even with their adult children when they have come to visit. But me personally, because of my family and how I was raised, it was something that was kind of understood. If you stand in the same room or in the same house with your girlfriend, you know, that's kind of how it is. I mean, they don't want you making, you know, coyote noises or like you riding a horse or anything like that. Of course, there's discretion involved.
Okay.
But I mean, if how do they say, it's like cheating on your taxes. If you didn't get caught, then sorry, it was kind of understood. So.
All right. I love that, Cleveland. I love that. I guess it does depend on your products, and also, you know, your family and your household.
Yes.
I got a story for that one, but I'll leave that for next time.
All right.
All right. Dr. Alicia Watkins, end us on a high note with that question.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everybody on this panel. I don't really think that it's necessarily distasteful, but what's really happening is this is a question about boundaries. This is a question because clearly if she asked this question, maybe she was in this situation and she felt uncomfortable. Maybe she was at her relative's house and with her boyfriend, and then maybe they wanted to sneak off like Miss Dirty Red. He wanted to sneak off. And perhaps she felt some guilt or even some shame about exposing herself like this at someone she knows. I mean, just think how embarrassing it is if you're in the house doing the do and noises are made, and then the next day you got to show your face to all these people who just heard you in the next room, and these are your relatives. So in a sense, it's like it is sort of like a boundary. Like I don't want to hear all of that. I don't want to know when that's happening. And I think that's why a lot of couples, when they get together, especially for the holidays, they just get a hotel room. Because they're like, you know what, I know this is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna get us a hotel room so that we can feel free to do whatever adults do. I mean, two consenting adults, and this is 2022 going into 2023.
Yeah.
The sign of the times is that two consenting adults, married or not, you know, they have the right to, you know, get intimate in that way. But and I also think that if you invite people over to your house and they're consenting adults, and I think it's a little kind of distasteful to tell them, oh, when you're in my house, you can't have sex in my house. Like that's a little distasteful. It's kind of like you're putting your values and boundaries on other people. I mean, if you're going to be that moralistic, then don't have people come to your house if you're going to try to control their behavior.
I think I agree with that one. Okay. Thanks I like all those answers. I agree with all of them. But, you know, if you want to sneak it in, just don't make no noise.
Yeah, I mean, there's something exciting about that. Why not? It's the holidays.
Little sneaky.
You're on vacation. Have fun. Let loose.
I agree with that.
Short.
So opposite of Cleveland, what he was just saying about how his upbringing was, mine was the opposite. And I have those. So check it out. I just went through that situation with my wife. She has adult children, and one is married, one isn't. The married one could stay here over Thanksgiving with her husband, but the one who wasn't, they couldn't stay together here.
Okay. All right.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm sure they got a hotel, right?
Yeah,
and they understood.
Yep.
All right. Well, before we get into question number 2, we're gonna kick it off. What we got? Sorry, babe. Right. We're gonna go straight into a commercial from one of our sponsors, Nomad Flavors, and I'm gonna ask Dwallscantalk to kick that off for our commercial.
Try to catch me howling at some more.
I tell you, I wish Nomad Flavors was on tonight because I am waiting on those seasonings, on those sauces, because I can just imagine how my oxtails are going to turn out with that and some escovitch fish. Woo! Can't wait. I'm a little excited. So that was our commercial from one of our sponsors, Nomad Flavors. So let's kick it off to question number 2. What do we have here? All right. This is a little scenario, so I'm just going to read it out as it is. My husband let his best friend, who recently got out of jail, move into our basement. We have kids, and his friend gives me the creepy vibes. He has nowhere else to go. What should I do? Now, it seems as if a female did send this in to us. So I'm going to kick it off to the gentleman first. And I'm going to ask Bobby, let's say your best friend just came out of jail and your wife is uncomfortable in her home. Even though he's in the basement, she's uncomfortable. He has nowhere else to go. And she's telling you that she's uncomfortable. What should she do?
You know
or what would you do?
I don't even have much to say to this one. It would just be a flat out no. He wouldn't get past the door.
Okay.
Especially you have kids, you have, a significant other. Hey, no.
Family first.
Huh?
Family first.
Absolutely. I mean, he made his bed, he gotta lay in it, it's resources out here, but that wouldn't happen. I'm sorry, it couldn't happen.
Okay, just a good answer. All right, Heather, what you thinking?
Well, I would just probably leave the house.
As the wife, you gonna leave the house?
We're on a break until your friend leaves. If we could resolve, it sounds like he's not listening to her say, "I don't want him here." You know what I mean? So, what else can you do? It doesn't sound like she's saying, when, can he come stay? It sounds like he's here. So at the point that he's here and I'm uncomfortable and my man feels that he has to do this, let's be real, very noble and kind thing to do for another human being. Recidivism is real. You know what I mean? So you don't want to kick a brother when he's down, but at the same time, I'm not going to live like that. So I'm going to go. And that
so
man
it
got to
wouldn't
make a
matter
decision.
what the crime is. That's what you're saying. It doesn't matter the crime or the time
she said she felt uncomfortable. So it's not even about that. It's about, a whole lot of black men go to jail unjustly. So I wouldn't judge him for that. But if I feel uncomfortable in somewhere I'm supposed to feel safe, then I gotta go.
I agree. All right. So Dirty Red, what you thinking? You leaving like Heather? What you saying?
Man, ain't gonna let no other guy come up in the house because this thickness walk around the house a certain way, so he ain't even getting in the door.
Okay.
So, bro can't stay here. It's us and the son, and I got a son, so most definitely, my partner wouldn't even allow his homeboy. He don't want nobody looking at this goodness, and then he protecting my son too. So, hey, she walk around with them little shorts and stuff on for me, but bro, she ain't walking around for you. So, bro ain't gonna make it in this house. I'm sorry, this door is don't even unlocked for that one. He gotta go to his mama house or his sister, his cousin. Somebody else gotta open the door.
Find another friend. Phone another friend.
And they got other friends when they come out, so they can get that hallway before they come this way.
I agree. All right, Edison, you want to chime in on this?
Well, it all depends. For me, I'll give you 2 points because I feel like what is he go to jail for? And at the same time is depending on what the finances is looking like. Because we can make it work. Like if he really has no one, because if I put myself in that situation, I really have no one. We can get him a hotel, or we can move ourselves into a hotel. Like I would do that. Like I know it sounds like, oh, that's doing a lot, but okay. Like if that's my friend and I'm really holding him down, imagine if I'm in that situation and he tells me,
it's not, to correct you, it's not his son, so it's his best friend.
No, I understand. Like his best friend. Like what do you consider a best friend? Like to me, not everyone is my best friend. So
if your wife is uncomfortable, then That's where my response came from.
Okay, and this is what I'm saying. Like, so are we not okay? For me, I'm saying if anything, and he really had no plan B's, no plan D's or whatever, we're gonna figure it out. I can get him a hotel at least for a night or so until he figures it out. Like if he just came out, he has nothing. Like
right.
Like there has to be some way for me. I would help him somehow.
So you
Like,
all right. So you adhere. You listen to what your wife is feeling, her own feelings, but then you also help your friend in the end.
Definitely.
That's what you're saying.
Why is he my best friend? Like
Yeah.
I don't have best friends, so why is he even my best friend?
I got you. I got you. All right.
So I'm holding. I'm gonna make sure they're both good. She's not gonna get her feelings gonna be hurt too, but he's gonna be good too, or whoever it is gonna be good too.
All right. So I see Cleveland has his hand up. So let's hear from Cleveland. What you got to say, Cleveland?
I would say that in an ideal situation, of course, my wife and my children would come first. But it also depends on the relationship that you have with your best friend and the relationship that you have with your wife. Because there are times when you would hope that your wife would trust in you and an understanding of who this person is. But you also realize too that every marriage is not perfect. And the reasons that she may not want this dude around may not really have to do with trust, is because she wants to have you to herself, or there's something going on in your relationship and she realizes this dude right here either gives you confidence. There's something about him that she doesn't like for her own reasons. And I'm saying this because I know this about personal relationships. I have seen people distrust other people's family members because they are so used to having you to themselves that anybody who comes in outside of that, they're like, we don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
So it really depends on, the relationship that you have with this person, because I'm not trying to be funny. If this dude took the weight and he's the reason why I didn't go to prison, I'm sorry, but we might have to talk about this.
Right. Okay.
And if she realizes, yes, this is your man that you did dirt with, that's why I don't like him. Well, you have to trust in the fact that I'm not doing that anymore and I owe him this.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's some things about the dynamic of the relationship. And believe me, I understand that, of course, your wife and protecting your kids come first. I got that. But there's situations sometimes that occur outside of that where you really have to look at what exactly is going on in this particular situation. Because sometimes your best friend is probably closer than your family. And like I said, if he kept you from going to prison, yeah, I might owe you a little something, partner.
Man, that is a totally different perspective, Cleveland. I never really thought about it like that.
Yeah.
That was a good one. All right, Dr. Watkins, what say you?
Yeah, I mean, I like how everybody's talking about this situation. It makes sense to me, but I see it as an issue of compromise. So you have a husband and a wife, there's a real scenario, and let's just assume that he's not in prison for child molestation or something weird like that. Let's just assume that this husband knows that he needs to have like a leg up. He needs to have someone who's there for him. And he feels as if he needs to be there for his best friend. So let's just assume that. Let's also assume that this wife has legitimate concerns. Okay. So both of this sort of conflict that they have is valid and reliable. It's something that you would think like, yeah, it absolutely makes sense. So, usually what I say is when I talk to my couples who have conflict, not necessarily quite like this, but just conflict in general, you have to realize that you need to learn how to compromise. And to do that, you have to have common ground. You have to have a win-win scenario. So the two of them should have, before this person got out of jail and he felt the need to kind of take his friend on, he should say, hold on a second. Let me discuss this with my wife first, or let me talk about it first, because you have to be respectful. You can't just say he's moving in here and I don't care what you think, right? So you have a conversation. Everybody talks about what they feel and how they think and their own perspective. It's heard, it's validated. And on some point, this husband has to acknowledge these legitimate concerns that his wife has. And the wife has to acknowledge the legitimate need probably to be a good friend to somebody who was a good friend to him, who's down and out. And, you know, somehow through this discussion, once you air out your feelings and thoughts about this, coming to a win-win situation is like, okay, well, if we do bring him in, how about just for 90 days? You know, that's an example of a compromise. Okay, 90 days is temporary. We've done our part. You still feel like you're a good friend. But at the same time, I know I don't have like somebody living in the house. And there has to be household rules. There has to be rules. You can't just be coming in and out of the house. And so I think that couples should sit down, come up with a compromise, come up with rules of how things need to be. And then he can go to his friend and say, hey, listen, when you come to the house, no drug use, no substance use. We have children in the house. You know, you just stay in the basement, no coming upstairs and hanging out with the kids, not like that, because, you know, my wife, we are uncomfortable. You don't have to tell on your wife necessarily. Here's what we believe. I mean, be like a united force. And in that way, it can be a scenario that both people need to be comfortable with, and tell this friend there's consequences. Like, these are the rules. If you're going to stay here, you don't follow these rules, you're out of here. You know, so then you feel like you're honoring and respecting your spouse, but at the same time, honoring and respecting your friend. But if the two of you sit down and talk and realize this is not a scenario where I feel like I need to have you around my small children, then you could say, you know what, here's how we can help you. Here's how we are going to be able to help you. We can give you money to stay in a shelter or stay in the alternative. They have places for people who come out of prison. Like, I don't know, like maybe you can connect them to a social service organization that helps get people back on their feet. There's a way where you can honor your friendship to somebody without putting your family in jeopardy.
Yep. I love those two responses. I fully agree with that. And the first line is always communication between two people. You need to talk first, sort out, you know, the issues, or come up with solutions, and then move forward with that. And I love that answer, Dr. Alicia Watkins. Also, I like all the answers to this question. You know, kudos to everyone. Everybody be on point tonight. So we're just going to do a quick intermission. And before I do that, I'm going to call out and shout out to our sponsors for the night. We have Starving Mind Records, Detroit Rap. We are currently at Podcastic, so shout out to Podcastic for hosting us tonight. Chicago Black Business, Cola Lounge, where we will be doing our live show in January. Nomad Flavors, which we saw, you know, their seasonings and their spices. And of course, Pharcyde TV. Now I'm going to kick it over to D Walls so that he can introduce our talent showcase. So D, all on you.
What's up, people? Peace of mind extended to you. This segment is brought to you by Starving Mind Records. I am Dwallscantalk. You all can follow me on social media. You can view some of my music on the streaming services. Dwalls, that's DWALLSCANTALK, Dwallscantalk. And tonight we have a special artist. I want to bring him up to be able to give you all the opportunity to hear from him and see what he have upcoming, and where you can find him at on different social media. So TJ Tay-Man, where you at? Come on up to the mic. Turn your camera on too.
Let me get some light up in here.
Yeah, you done. We got to see that face. Yeah. tell the people, you know, what you got up and coming. And this here before we a lot of people to hear one of your latest hottest track. I heard it too. So yeah, you fire. So
Appreciate
it. Tell them about yourself and what you got up and coming and where they can find you at.
Well, my name is TJ Tay-Man. I go by the name of TJ Tay-Man, and I'm working on some new music at the moment. And I got a show coming up in January. And shout out Tully Gang, shout out RBA. That's the family right there. And I appreciate the opportunity too.
No doubt. You wanna let them know the name of your song that you got coming up?
It's called Down in the Kid.
All right, so we about to share with you all Down in the Kid, TJ Tay Man.
Sit down when I see a nigga win. Sit down when I see a nigga win. Sit down when I see a nigga win. No, no, no. Sit down when I see a nigga win. They wanna see me down in the pen. Back in that grade, they was down in the kid. Now I'm patiently waiting for my time to begin. For real.
This one of my favorite ones.
Say no, no, no. Say they don't wanna see a nigga win. They wanna see me down in the pen. Back in that grade, they was down in the kid. Now I'm patiently waiting for my time to begin. Say they don't wanna see a nigga win. They wanna see me down in the pen. Back in that grade, they was down in the kid. Now I'm patiently waiting for my time to begin. They ain't give me a hand when I asked for it. So I don't want no friends, can't get a pass for it. But they want stand the chance when I get that bag on. Try to hide my feelings, somebody still showing. Tryna knock me up, but bitch, I'm still growing. Giving them my cold shoulders because the wind blowing. Only real when this guy, he got my blood for him. Toasting a pussy ass nigga, ain't got no love for him. They wanna see a nigga fall, but I be so high. I'm trying to grind to get it all, know I'm gon' shine. They say I'm fake cause I ain't picking up my phone now. But they ain't worried cause I know I gotta get mine. Patiently waiting cause I know that this shit take time. And when I make it out the hood, they gon' be so surprised. Gon' be mad when they see a nigga on now. They gon' be mad when they see me doing shows now. You hear me?
All right. We had the pleasure of meeting TJ Tayman, and trust me, his energy is like 100. Every minute when I look left, look right, he was just dancing up and down the place. And I thought I was a dancer, but TJ, you got me on that one. I am looking forward to your music. You know, you're a real talented artist. And thank you for sharing your video with us for tonight's show. And I hope the next question, when I ask for audience response, that you're gonna respond. Okay?
Yeah,
all right. So let's kick it into the third question. Ooh. All right. We've been in situations where, you know, a man does something and he hurts a female, and then in order to be petty and get him back, we, the woman, we're gonna, you know, hurt him in return. And sometimes men can't take that pain that they dish. So a question sent in, and obviously this is from a man. Hello. Why do women say that men can't take the same kind of pain in relationships that as we do? So men just can't take it. They dish it, but they can't take it. So I'm gonna ask one of our panelists first, and I'm gonna head it over to Heather because I see her face. And I'm gonna ask Heather, what are you feeling? Do you agree with this? Can men take the pain that they dish to us? Can they take it really and truly?
I don't think any of us can take it. I don't think this is as gender specific as people want it to be. If you hurt somebody and they hurt you back, you probably can't take it. You know what I mean? Like, some of this is just humanity. We don't like being hurt, and we don't like the idea that someone that we didn't think would hurt us. And retaliatory actions is if I thought you were going to get me back, I probably wouldn't have done it. I did it because I didn't think you were going to do anything. And I do think men are guilty of that, of not thinking that women are capable of either leaving them for their bad behavior or dishing back on their bad behavior. So I think both actions get a crazy response from them, because I don't think that they thought she would leave, or she would go get another guy, or she would do whatever I'm doing. The surprise factor, I think, is more so there for men, but the it hurt my feelings when you did that. I just think that's human. And this all sounds really toxic. You know, this sounds like a guy that's used to toxic relationships because he's saying it like it's a general rule. Like, why come with, you know, bro, why are you in these situations where people are getting their lick back on you? How about that?
I like that. I like that answer. All right, I'm gonna kick it over to one of our guys. Edison, how are you feeling about that? Can men take the same pain?
I agree with Heather on this one. Like, I feel like no one can take it. Like, I can't even imagine walking in and seeing like my significant other with someone on the bed. Like who could? Like, who would even like? How would someone react in that situation? Like, unless like y'all don't really love each other, and it's like, okay, it doesn't matter. But like, if there's love there, it's gonna hurt, no matter what, on both sides.
All right, Bobby, I see your face.
I think why that is phrased that way, men can't take what they dish out. First off, men are bigger, stronger, faster. The things that we do, if faced with the same things that women do, can get out of hand a lot more. So if, like he said, if he come in the house and see his girl and a dude on top of her, that dude gonna touch everything in the house. If it was the reverse and she came in, it wouldn't be as much as she could do, you know what I'm saying? So it just seemed like the dude flew off the hinges. But it just depends on the situation, because take a side dude and a side chick. Side dude find out his girl got a dude, he ain't gonna key her car up, bust her windows, come to her dude as a man and all this stuff. You don't see that, you don't hear that. But women tend to want more, and then they expose you. You see what I'm saying? So there's no proof that men have gone to further extremes when faced with the same things. It just comes off as like this cute statement to kind of help women sleep better at night. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really a true thing, you know what I'm saying? But also with what Heather was saying, like, women can move on and things like that, but women are more apt to actually stay in those situations. Men are more likely to leave. So
even if they love the woman, like they really love her, they know they hurt her deep, 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 they gonna leave.
If she did it and then he saw it,
yeah.
Oh, dudes are more likely to leave. We get our licks back a lot better than women do.
You think so? I don't think so.
Yes,
I have to disagree with that one. I think women
I
get
agree
their
with
licks
Bobby.
in.
Yeah,
Of
I
course
agree
you
with
would.
Bobby 100%.
We get our licks back way better.
All right. I'm going to come back to you, Bobby, but I'm going to kick it to Dirty Red. Tell me something, Dirty Red.
Come on,
Are
Dirty.
you agreeing with everyone? You're muted.
I'm tearing the phone up into this mute. Bobby, quit playing.
Come on with it.
Bobby. Man, I listen. Y'all men is more worse than us women. Cause I've been in an incident, I didn't do nothing wrong. Dude did it, and I just looked at him and you did that, bro. You did that. And me doing that, he was so hurt, he bust my windows out. He didn't want me to leave the house because he was afraid that I was gonna go out and cheat back. That was a cheating scenario. Even on a tech, like me being a radio person on the radio, I'm a single woman with 4 children and very spontaneous, you know what I'm saying? So my dude at that time felt like, oh, all the men were just on me. I was in the house every day. You know what I'm saying? So he felt, oh, she cheating, I'm cheating. When it all came out, I wasn't cheating. Man, he wanted me to hit him. He wanted just anything to keep me around him. He wanted me to do all kind of bad abuse. I'm like, no, man. That's when roses start coming into play. When y'all really find out that y'all be wrong in certain scenarios, y'all want to give us gifts. Y'all want to cook for us. Y'all want to give us back rubs. I'll be looking like, where this was at before all this jumped off. So no, I'm not agreeing with y'all. You know what? I don't know what movie you watched that on,
Hold up, Dirty Red.
No, Bobby. No, Bobby.
No, you talking about two different things, though. You talking about if a dude did you
y'all
wrong.
Can't handle certain things. I swear on everything. We can sit back and look at y'all. If for something that happened, we can sit back and look at y'all. Now, if you got that crazy woman, I'ma just pray for you. You know what I'm saying? But y'all men is worse than us women. Y'all go all in.
Facebook has been around for 18 years.
No, we not talking about Facebook.
Hold on.
We talking about regular.
Hear me out. Facebook has been around for 18 years. We've seen everything on Facebook you can imagine. There isn't a scenario we cannot find on social media. This is just a window to the world, right?
Right.
When have you seen a video? I can find 100 of a woman bleaching a dude clothes, burning his stuff up, busting the windows out of his car, setting his phone on fire and burning her eyelashes up, stabbing his, doing all
Bobby,
you're probably venturing down a different rabbit hole because I don't want to get into that part of it. But when men can't take the pain, they do other things.
Can't. Yes, y'all, man.
But we don't hear about these things because we all got the same windows to the world. We hear more about women doing all this crazy stuff and then staying.
Where your wife at?
Upstairs.
That's why you talking like that, because she upstairs.
I'm sorry, Bobby. Do you not hear about all these women getting murdered? That's the difference. When you guys get married, you murder women. That's the difference. We break out a car. You guys murder.
No.
Yes, Bobby, that's the difference.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Just to where I used to live at, just up the street, a girl killed her boyfriend. See, yes, there's frequencies that are different from men.
Babe, you don't have no statistics to back this up. You can't just be pulling random stories out to make your point.
No. You saying it like it never used.
You saying like most of the time that's on your timeline. Somebody else got a timeline where guys are
that's
clowning.
not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's one thing to call something out and act like you do none of that. But I'm saying I have real life situations that I've witnessed, which is anecdotal purely. But the point is, y'all will act like these things don't happen. Women don't do it. Women don't kill.
Sad to say, I stayed on the street from that murder that happened with a young boy killed his baby mother, his mother, and his stepfather. I happen to know the boy because he used to like my daughter. I'm a block down. You know what I'm saying? So in that scenario, he was upset about not being able to look at her phone. See, the news portray one thing, but by me knowing the family, he's actually some kid of my children's godfather. You know what I'm saying? And I just had a discussion earlier today about how the news portray one story, but when you hear the real story, it makes you think different. You know what I'm saying? You guys can't help if we decide to leave you men for whatever scenario, y'all go crazy. We do too. Okay. I'm not gonna put it all on y'all, but y'all get more. I say dramatically, I'm gonna give it a 50-50 because I'm not gonna never say, well, y'all men do this or us with. Yes, we got our part too. You know what I'm saying? That's what made me do radio because I speak stuff that people scared to say. You know what I'm saying? You say, for instance, you say you're not having a good marriage. I'm gonna sit down with you and her. You know what I'm saying? And I do a way where I make y'all talk and y'all hear each other and y'all been to work out y'all own problem. That we don't have that these days with relationships and even with same sex. You hear about a lot of murders with the same sex too. We're not gonna leave them out as well. You know what I'm saying? So in certain scenarios, y'all can't handle certain pain that we give, just like we can't. You know what I'm saying?
My favorite part was when he said,
hold up. All right, guys, 1 second. Time out. 1 second. Before we get back into this discussion, let me just hear from Dr. Alicia Watkins what she wants to weigh in on the question, and then we can continue the dialogue with it. You're muted, Dr. Watkins.
Yeah, I know this is great dialogue. I'm listening to everything, and everybody makes sense to me. It all makes sense. There are two comments I wanted to make. First of all, if you're in a relationship with someone and they continue to hurt you and they don't even care about hurting you, you need to reevaluate whether this is a good relationship for you. It's considered toxic. Someone mentioned toxic. Yes, for sure. Definitely toxic. I think it's a big fat red flag. Do not continue with them. And I know
I know you have the urge for revenge. The problem is that when you get revenge on someone or you feel like you're going to get them back, it really, it's just not good for your own psyche and for your own peace in your life. I mean, you're going to go back and forth with someone. The best revenge you can do, and I know it sounds so cliche, but it's very true. The best revenge you can give on somebody is just live a good life. Wish them well. I wish you well. We must now part ways. I can see now there's no future. I do not consider myself living like this for the rest of my life. Like, you really need to be very clear. Like, we're done, and just like washing your hands of it and moving on and live your best life. That's the best thing to do. The second thing I wanted to say is that women have so much more of a support system. So that when they're in a relationship and they have issues with their significant other, they're talking to their mama, they're talking to their girlfriends, they're like hashing it out, and just, they have like, I don't know if it's just more acceptable, but women do this. Like, we lean on each other in a support system to help us when we're having relationship issues. And I don't think men necessarily have all of that in the middle of, conflict or issues in a relationship. And so I think that by the time the relationship is over, women are just done. They're like, whew, that feels good, I can move on. Where men are a little devastated because along the way, they didn't necessarily have that outlet to kind of process what was going on. And then afterwards, when the woman is gone, they're left a little dumbfounded, like, what just happened? So it's more painful for women in the relationship, and they work through a lot of that pain, and then they're done with the relationship. But for men, it's not until after the relationship is over, they're like, ooh, what happened? I need to have somewhere to process this, if they ever do. A lot of men have, and I think women have issues with men, and men have issues with women because of that. They carry that with them in other relationships. But keep talking about this. This is exciting. This is nice to hear.
All right. So before I ask our audience members to chime in, remember to click that raise hand icon, and then we'll call upon you to talk. Did the panelists want to add anything else? Bobby, you wanted to add anything else onto it? Heather?
I just want to say one thing, Bobby. My favorite part of everything you said was when you said you won't see a man coming to another man as a man. And that was a huge not truth. Okay. Like, dudes absolutely will pull up on another dude and come to them. They just don't say, I'm coming to you as, actually they do. Man to man, that's my girl. I don't want to have to pull up. Like I say, it just gets violent quicker with men. So they're not about to argue and go back on the forth on the phone. But I've been the girl that had the guy, pull up, and I was scared for that other guy in that moment, because I was like, yo, he's gonna hurt you. Like, you gotta go. And that's a big, another thing that women have to always be concerned with when we get in these situations, because men will go out and kill somebody, it's never worth it. It's never worth it. So we're always afraid, like, oh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Whereas guys, you guys are, like you said, you guys are worried about us breaking out car windows. You're not worried about us killing people, even though 25 seasons of Snap says it can happen too. But I don't think it's as big of a concern, especially Black women in the hood. We're always aware that somebody could get seriously hurt if this situation goes left.
I agree.
Right. And I'm with you on that. I just was speaking from a likelihood standpoint. Just like you said, with killings and stuff like that, we're just talking about likelihood, you know what I'm saying? And one outweighs the other by a great deal. Women are less likely to kill their partner in this situation. They'll do some crazy stuff, but the men are less likely, will be like, you know what? I just found out she got a whole dude and I'm her side dude. Oh, well, the likelihood of him doing that, that's what I'm speaking from. I'm not saying it doesn't happen on the other side.
Man, I want to be everywhere that y'all stay. I want to live in that area because, man, I'm sorry, I'm across the street from Detroit, and I can't get them pass. I can't get that pass. I wish I could. I get the stalking. I get the playing on my camera. I used to get all that. Like, open the door, I'm up in there sleep. I gotta look at my phone like this fool at the door. I wish, Doc, you gotta hook me up with somebody that got that frame of mind that you talking about. Because and my friends be like against everything because they don't have no guy friends. So I be looking like, sis, it's time for you to meet somebody. Like, put the knitting needles down, have a relationship, because we getting older. You know what I'm saying? We want a companion, but I'm more of a type where with me, in a scenario like that, I got this conclusion with let's bring out dinner plates. You know what I'm saying? So, like, maybe she can use that in one of her therapy sessions where you cook dinner and, any problems they sit down at dinner and have a conversation about whatever the problem is. You know what I'm saying? So that's my new method of handling situations in a relationship. If we got problems, let's sit down at dinner and talk about it. And after we finish our plate and our dinner, then after that problem is resolved and we don't talk about it no more. You know what I'm saying? And it's something I'm actually doing with my new partner now. Like, let's sit down at dinner, and if there's something that's bothering you, let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I think it'll be a new method that's easy to express more. And Bobby, you married, so I hope you don't mess up and that, she cooked them dinners and you don't got an extra pinch of salt in your stuff, that day. Because that means that you really messed up, Nah. Bobby
All right, hold on.
He was a happy married man,
Cleveland, you wanted to chime in. Thanks for that, Dirty Red. Cleveland.
I would say that usually males are raised, with an idea that they have to be warriors. And what happens is that warriors protect a certain part of themselves from everybody. I mean, you have to go through a lot to get to the center of a warrior. But when they do allow you to enter that area, or they give it up to you, their emotions are quite involved in that. I mean, and I have seen it, in both very positive and very negative ways. There was a saying that goes that Black men aren't dangerous when they get mad. They're dangerous when they get upset. So when they get upset by something, I can definitely say that they, along with being the warriors, they will take it to a level that you had not imagined. Even my mother had said, she said that I don't want to love somebody so much that I decide that I want to kill them, or that I can't live without them, because that's what ends up happening. So I would seriously say, because of the frequency men do things, and I'm saying this as a father, having seen it happen to my daughter, to my nieces. Young men do things that they don't really understand and how they affect young women, and it hurts young women more. But later on in life, when men have experienced some things and they have allowed their heart to be open and penetrated by women, oh no, that's a demon that you do not want to deal with. I'm telling you, that's a demon that you do not want to deal with.
Okay. Well, Cleveland, all these views. Okay, but in the end, what are you saying? Men cannot take the same pain as a female?
No, I wouldn't say that they could, not to the same extent. Because they're used to being the aggressors, they're used to, certain things. But when it's turned around on them and they have given their heart and their love to somebody and it goes wrong, no. Dudes can't take it the same way. No, they can't.
Okay, in relation to that, I feel you on that. All right, did we have anybody else from the audience that wanted to chime in before we kick it off into one of our commercials? Into another, question? No one? All right, so what's question number 4? Okay. All right, so we have a scenario. I'm entering my 20s with a serious boyfriend whom I picture my future with later on. But I'm scared I'll regret settling so young. Is it important to be single in your early 20s outside, or should you settle down in your early 20s? So what I'm going to do is kick this over to Bobby. What are you feeling from this question asked? is it important to be single in your early 20s? So basically, should I continue dating, since I'm young, or should I settle down?
It depends, but I'm an advocate for people settling down as early as you can, because all you do is accumulate hurt and pain and disappointment and things like that. You could date, and then find something you like, maybe not. It's a possibility. But if you have somebody with similar interests as you and you kind of growing at the same pace and they're wanting to settle down too, why not? Because you're going to end up, your mindset at 20 or 21 where your life is all ahead of you versus when you're 35, 40, when it seems like your life is behind you, your mindset is different. And then you probably never settle down. You're not as open to certain things. Your tolerance is different, and you just get older and bitter based off of your situations that may not have worked out. And then you be like, damn, I should have did that. So I say earlier is better.
Okay. All right. Heather, you nodding. Are you agreeing?
We can't hear you.
She's trying to unmute.
I
There
know.
you
Every
go.
time I was hitting the wrong part of the screen, I kept blowing my own face up. Okay. Actually, I think there's a lot of validity to what Bobby says, and I'm a believer in love, and I'm also a firm. I can testify that it does not get easier to find someone as you get older. It actually gets much more challenging. And if you find somebody you vibe with, like for real, like you enjoy their company, you want to see them every day, that's probably a keeper. I believe in organic connections. I believe in following love. So if it makes sense to be with this person every day, then you should. Life is hard enough. Why are you complicating it?
So enjoy it in your 20s, and if you want to settle, just settle.
Yeah, if you got it, yeah.
Okay. Edison, I see you. What you saying?
I'll say, speaking from a household perspective, hopping in and out of relationships is not it's not ideal. I mean, my dad himself, he did it. Like he had one, like my mom, that's like his first relationship. And I will say, like, hopping in and out of relationships, like Bobby mentioned, does accumulate a lot of pain and trust issues. So if you're not sure, don't get in a relationship. Like if you're 20, you feel like you're not ready to hop in it, just don't. Because you're not sure. So if you still have I feel like you shouldn't be in a relationship. But if you're like, yo, that's the one, make it work. But if you're not sure, just don't. It's just, you might ruin something that could have been good when you were ready. In my honest perspective.
Okay.
That's my answer.
All right. Dirty Red, you want to chime in?
I actually have daughters in their early 20s right now, and watching them, like me, my early 20s, I kind of worked and took care of my daughter because I was a teen mom. So I kind of was more focused on, I was still in college as well. I wasn't ready to settle down. So I mean, depending on, if she's ready or not, or if she has a career goal that she's pushing for, I mean, I wouldn't see nothing wrong with it, but if it's optionally up to her. If she feels that she's comfortable and she's ready, I wouldn't, my daughter tried it and she felt like, she's a teen, she was not a teen mom, but she had her baby and she didn't feel like the dad should be there because it was like something that just didn't level out with her. And she actually doing good without the male in the house with her. You know what I'm saying? She actually has everything on her own. She said she felt, her words were, she felt like she can handle everything as a female by herself than having somebody else as a crutch right now because she started early. So, I mean, to me, it's optional. If you feel like you're ready, give it a try. If not, then just wait.
All right. So just to reiterate the question, the person is saying, she obviously, she pictures the boyfriend in the future. She pictures him in her future, but she's scared, or she's scared and she might regret it settling now.
Shoot. What I'm thinking about.
But she does see him in her future, but she's scared to settle now. Would everyone have that same opinion?
I would tell her to take it slow because we can always picture somebody they feel like that's going to be there forever. And 3 months down the line, they might show something different.
So just take your time, take it slow.
Take her time, still take her time, regardless. Because you look at it now, these kids moving in together still too, you know? That's the same scenario, somewhat like the same scenario. Let's move together tomorrow. Oh, let's do this, let's do that. And then 6 months down the line or 3 months down the line, I wish I would have never did that. You know what I'm saying? Even though we can see one thing and it turned out to be something totally different.
It sounds like the question may be posed from a standpoint of like he may have proposed to her or maybe put himself in a position to be like, hey, I want us to be a thing, and she's probably conflicted. I don't know.
He may have, but the way it was sent to us, that's not how she worded it. But you're right. The way she did phrase it, it does come across as if he probably said he wants to settle, probably wants to marry, but she's not sure.
Girl,
but
if you watching this show, do it. Listen.
But wait though, because it might just be in her mind. You know what I'm saying? Because these young girls feel like, all right, this might be an opportunity to get away from my parents, and I love him so much, and I see he might not be thinking that. You know what I'm saying? He might be on the let's take it slow level, and she might be on the rush. You know what I'm saying? It's more like, oh my God, he's just so gorgeous. I love this, I love that. He smells good, blah 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 blah. Oh, we gonna be together forever, because we dream. I'm not gonna say women don't. We dream. I'm sorry, I ain't had that dream. I was more of a venture off. If I saw X and Doe and it looked too good, if this looked too good, I seen that X like run, girl, because it might switch up on you. But I mean, this generation, now let's speak this generation, because these kids is full-fledged. They going in. So it might be in the girl mind, you know? Oh, he got a job. Oh, he's dressed fresh.
Especially in today's time, if a person's wanting to settle down that young, you getting you getting off to a better start than
Bobby,
people
early
want
20s.
to play down.
Bobby,
well,
early 20s.
It happens,
Yes.
Dirty Red, because I have family. I thought she was marrying young, but seeing them now, I think they're married about 3-4 years now, and they're both growing together. They're excelling, and they're on the same plan. So it can work. You just have to have that mindset for it.
That 50-50 though. They got that 50-50.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've been seeing these girls that's like
Y'all really want to have a 50-50 conversation?
No, we ain't gonna go down that route. All right, I'm gonna take it over to the audience. I think I see some hands there. Drinks to that, Bobby. Cleveland, I see you.
I would say, number one, in a traditional African culture, you're not even considered adult until you're 30. Okay.
30. Okay.
Yeah. My mother told me, in your 20s, you don't even know yourself. You just got out of my house. You just got out from under my skirt, from riding around in your dad's car, us paying your bills. So now you 20 and you think or 21, 22, you think you know yourself? There's so much of life that you have not experienced yet to think that you want to be with this person for the rest of your life. You ain't really tested. You not tested, they not tested. And not only that, usually when the young marriages are successful, the parents had something to do with it. They picked it. They know who they are. They know who their family are. I'm not saying they can't work, because I'm a firm believer in following love too. And first of all, let me big up Black women, because I probably know 6 or 7 Black women that I probably could have married that would have treated me right if I was in my right frame of mind in my 20s.
Right.
But I wasn't in my right frame of mind. I wanted to chase hoes. I wanted to do this other stuff.
Have fun. Live your life.
Right.
Cleveland,
So,
who you calling
I'm
hoes?
saying-
Women's.
Huh?
You better change that word, Cleveland. That's why.
No, you're right. You're right.
We ladies,
in all due respect to you, I wanted to chase queens.
Okay, there you go.
I wanted to chase Black women. I wanted to chase the sisters, the Nefertaris. I wanted to chase them, but I wasn't in my right frame of mind. And maybe my mother saw that. Maybe that was the advice. But she even understood herself because she got married earlier with an understanding that was the time and that's what you did. But she didn't know herself. She didn't have a chance to know herself because she got married and she found herself in a situation. She didn't want her children to not have that opportunity.
Right.
So I would say if you love them, that's fine that you love them. I'm not against love, but I'm telling you, as life goes on, you learn yourself and you understand yourself more. And I would wait a little longer. I would not do that to myself that early.
Okay. So you won't rush it.
No,
All right.
definitely not.
Okay,
And-
before we hear from Dr. Watkins, do we have any other audience members that want to chime in on this question? Going once, going twice. All right, Dr. Watkins. You're mute.
I'm enjoying this conversation, listening to everybody. But I think you should settle down when you're ready. Honestly, it is. If you're in your 20s and she's having some apprehension, she probably may not be ready. She knows she probably loves this gentleman, but settling down so early may be something that she has some reservations for. And I think that we put too much pressure on young people because of our own sort of feelings that we're running out of time. We're running out of time, and that there's a limited number, there's limits, right? And so sometimes we can put our own sort of perspective and our own sort of experiences onto other people and say, hey, you found somebody that you love, you found somebody that loves you, go on and snatch them up before you get my age and can't find nobody. And I don't think that's fair to do. I think if she's having these sort of feelings, first of all, she should talk about it with her partner. She should talk about this ambivalence that she's having. And I mean, if it's meant to be, it's going to happen anyway, but she really should share that. And I mean, you got to kind of get to know yourself as an individual, as a single individual person, and have experiences, expose yourself to a whole lot of things, get to know who you are, because when you settle down, and if you get married, that is, you have to say goodbye to the single person. You can't be single and be married at the same time. It's a mentality. So there may be some things that she feels like she needs to experience. There's some things she feels like she needs to do. And a good supportive partner would understand that, would say, hey, I don't want to be fatalistic about it, but you got to kind of say, listen, if it's meant to be, nothing can tear us apart. How about we figure out what this life is like at our early 20s? Somehow she has some idea in her mind that maybe perhaps I'm a little too young and there's some things that I need to do. And a good, loving, compassionate partner would be somebody that would allow you to become who and whatever you are, whether at the end of the road they're together, maybe they won't be together. Maybe that relationship is a reminder that she needs to experience life a little more. And, so you never know why and how people come together and what lessons they need to learn in that relationship. I think that all of us, no matter who we pick as our partner, I think it's the perfect person for you, because that's a lesson that you need to learn. So maybe her lesson is to find out who she is. Maybe there's a future. She says she sees a future in him down the line, but why rush in? Fools rush in.
Yep, I agree. Well, yeah, I would say if you're young and you're not sure in your 20s, let me not say young. Let me say if you're in your 20s and you still have not experienced life, for me, I would say experience the life that you want to live first, because as you know, once you settle, once you say I do, that's who you with.
Yeah, it's a huge adjustment. I mean, let me tell you, they're grown adults that I know, that I see in my practice. They have a hard time adjusting. There are people in their 30s and 40s that can't adjust to married life, have a hard time adjusting to married life. It's an adjustment. It's a growth. You have to grow in order, to get married. You're embarking on a new arrangement.
Yeah.
And it's a growth experience, and you're going to be totally different than your single self.
Correct. All right.
Yeah.
Well, before I kick it into the final question, we are going to play a short video, which is one of our videos. And I'm going to ask Dwallscantalk to run that video for us.
Hey everyone, welcome to the virtual staging of the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show. I am one of your co-producers, Trina, and we're grateful to have you joining us here today on one of our events. Now, we want to take the time to remind everyone that the show is being streamed live on the Pharcyde TV YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to their page where you can also find our content, which includes all our past shows and the interviews that we have been doing with our panelists. We also want to take the time to remind everyone to join us on all our social media platforms, which includes our Facebook group at Heart to Heart RTS, where we discuss topics that we didn't get to touch on the show. And also we're looking forward to give away 1 or 2 tickets to one of our upcoming virtual events. Now, with that being said, I think I've done enough talking, and I think it's time we get on with the show. So I'm gonna hand it right back over to the host. Have a good show, guys.
So I hand it back over to myself. I'm sorry. All
That's
right.
funny. You're so funny. You funny. I didn't know you was this funny.
Because I'm behind the scenes. I'm behind the scenes. All right. Our final question for tonight. However, before we get into the question, I'm just going to remind our panelists to please, before you respond to the question, just remind our audience members of who you are and where we can find you, such as your social media platforms, your handles, and then just get right into answering the question. So our 5th and final question for the night is putting on a mask to hide the putting on a mask to hide the tension between myself and my significant other the best option when amongst family and friends, or is it better to keep it real and not hide my feelings? So basically, Heather, you and your boyfriend are driving over to your family's house and, you know, ready to have your din with your family, but you get into an argument in the car. Are you going to walk in your house with your family or walk into the family house being vexed with each other? Or are you going to put on a mask and fake it?
So you asking me if I want to ruin this 5-year-old's birthday party because I'm at my boyfriend in the car?
That's good talk.
Or you just want me to walk
That's
in here and just ruin the occasion? Grandma,
what you doing?
Old, are you going to
put on a mask, or are you going to keep it real?
I think it's important to know yourself and know your temperament and your triggers. And I think you should know when you are about to blow, and you should know what you can handle. And if I feel like if I can see myself physically ready to put my hands on this man, then I probably need to sit in the car for a few minutes or maybe call it a day and just say, we can't go because I hate you too much and I can't pull it off. But no, I'm sorry. And maybe I'm just from a different school. But no part of me thinks it's ever okay to ruin the entire family's day, because when people come in arguing, that they bring that energy and that tension in. Now your uncle's little corny jokes ain't hitting because everybody looking at y'all, and you just ruin the whole energy in the room or whatever. And I just think you need to know yourself, know your partner, and know what level. Like, is this a 5? Are we at a 2 right now? Is this something we can shake off and pick up later, or are we about to go home and break some dishes? Because if that's the case, we just need to go home and say, we can't make it. Sorry. We'll catch you guys next time.
I feel you. But just before, remind the audience.
I didn't say my name.
Okay.
Sorry. First of all, hold on. This is what I want to say. I want to tell you where to find me, but I also want to say the video, your hair was great. Whatever style that was called. I don't know hairstyles. You looked great in it and I loved it. And if you want to get that again, I wouldn't be mad at you. Okay. So anyway, the hair and the accent was given. I'm just saying, both of them together, I'm like, go Trina. Okay. My name is Heather J. I'm a stand-up comedian from Detroit. I currently live in Los Angeles, California, but I'm home all the time. I'm kind of back and forth. And that's why I got my little blanket up, because I don't want to turn my heat on, which I know sounds crazy to Michigan people because you guys are already at 80. I get it. But I'm still at a point where I ain't got to turn mine up yet. So I'm trying to hold on to my little blanket. Okay. I'm also a screenwriter and a novelist. So you can follow me on IG, Heather JAYH, and I usually post up stuff and I do little silly videos about relationships and stuff too. And it's been a pleasure listening to everyone's POV, and I hope we can all stay connected. And if you're watching and tuning in, thank you so much for listening to us talk.
Awesome, Heather. All right, Dirty Red, talk to me. Are you putting on that mask?
Boy, y'all, we walking that boy. He praying and I don't go off. I'm telling you. I'm the wrong person. You can find me on Facebook, Jeanette, JANNETTE. Last name Red, REDD. Instagram, Dirty Red Management. Oh yeah, my bad. Dirty Red Dreads. That's me too. First of all, I like this one. Baby. Heated in the car. Oh my God, I'm gonna leave you praying that I don't tear up the club when we walk in this house. But see, facial expressions tell I can put that face on. They be like, your makeup is so cute. Thank you. Thank you. They like, oh, he done pissed her off. Hey, families know me already. Like, man, whatever you do, don't make her mad. We know how she go off. But I'm very respectful when it comes to family. So I ain't never had that. Let me think. Yeah. I know how to put on a good mask. So I'm respectful though. So I don't bring the drama to the family. But I leave your behind sitting there praying like, oh, I hope she don't get mad. But men usually tell on themselves and they come like, what did he do? Nothing. Girl, what you talking about? Everybody gonna enjoy that macaroni and cheese and sweet peas and green beans today.
I'm sorry, Dirty Red. He better know your temperament, as Heather said. Better know your temperament, because if he knows you're gonna kick up a fuss once you walk in that house, he better know how to keep his calm in that car.
Man, them men know how to go like, bro, I done messed up. The men be like, bro, I done messed up, man. That's just crazy. She don't act. You messed up with her. I know the men talk. They be like, why you do her like that, dog? You better hope grandma don't get a hold to her. Grandma take it in the corner. Here come grandma. What's wrong, babe? Nothing wrong. What are you saying that for, big mom? Everything fine. I be drinking like Bobby for real. They be like, she drinking today? Everything fine, grandma.
All right. Thanks. Edison, what you got to say to chime in on this one?
I gotta say,
hold up, remember, just not to cut you. Say where you're from. Say not where you're from. Where you're from. Remind our audience members of who you are and where we can find you before you respond to your question.
Hey, so I'm Trapping Styles on Instagram. That's TRAPPINGSTYLES, and look forward to seeing Build-A-Bear meets Oprah soon in the future. And other than that, I would have to say Jeanette. She got me like this. What she just said was funny. Like that, I see why you do what you do. So a shout out to you for that. And to just chime in on the conversation, man, I feel like if I asked 21-year-old me, like, would I put on a mask for this moment, I would say yes. I just feel like now this is so hard to wear a mask. Like, if I know I'm mad, I'm not gonna walk in. Like, I'm not gonna walk into the party feeling like that. But
okay,
like 21 me would be reckless. Like, yeah, I'm walking and still act nice, but I'm not happy. But like right now, how I feel right now in this moment, like I wouldn't walk in with that mask.
Man, we'll walk in together. I'll be like, fix your face. You'll be like, we gonna go in this party and we gonna act like ain't nothing happened in this car. Okay, and I love you. Mwah. Let's get it.
Yep. Put that mask on.
He gonna be like,
all right,
she
Bobby.
gonna kill me when we get home. She gonna kill me.
What you got for us, Bobby? You putting on that mask or you gonna keep it 100?
First we're gonna have a conversation in the car, not about what we're going through, but the fact that we're gonna have a conversation after this is over. So I'm gonna talk to her like, you know, when you talk to 5-year-olds where you take them in the store, don't touch nothing, don't ask for shit. We gonna have that talk. Or if she want to, you know, tussle, we can walk in like Tina Turner and Ike and trying to keep it together.
I hate your wife ain't downstairs. I swear, boy, you done hit her. You must have sent her upstairs with some ice cream. Told her you gonna rub her feet and everything tonight. You getting away with murder tonight. Tell sis hit the girl up.
But hear me out. We've had these occurrences before. So
Bobby, you know you don't be that calm. You know you don't be that calm, Bobby.
From experience.
Yes. Oh, real quick. Bobby J. Coleman, you can find me on IG at Bobby J Online. What else? Cool Films Productions. We're working on a film right now called Vengeful. Check that out, coming up in April of next year. And that's pretty much it. But yes, I have from experience, because we've had, you know, some disagreements or some conversations that took a left turn, and it was before we went to an event, or something was said around people, and I had to like, okay, we're gonna talk about this when we leave, you know. But I didn't say that. It's just, I'm gonna just keep my cool, because, you know, we don't need, like Heather said, you don't need to mess up other people. You just need to leave or don't come if it's gonna be some tension there. You know what I'm saying?
Let us see that face. What that face look like? Let us see that face like.
When that door open, we could be messed up. As soon as that door open, I'm coming in, I'm smiling, I'm cheesing. What's up? Dapping up people, giving hugs, and they won't even know what's going on, because first off, we're gonna get through it. But that also gives you time to
cool off,
process things, and maybe come from a different mindset when you do approach it. So if you approached it in the car before you went in, your emotions are heightened and things like that. But after you had a few drinks, mingled, socialized, you get in the car and you talk about it, it might not be as big of a deal at that point. So sometimes you need that time. I'm big on taking time to process things, because everything don't need to be, you know, addressed immediately just because you're mad, because things do happen, you know. So
I agree with that full-heartedly. Woo! I agree with that, Bobby, because I think, you know, I agree with that one.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna turn it over to our audience, and I think we have Sincere 7. I see you coming up, Sincere. You want to chime in? You gotta unmute.
You're on mute, bro.
My fault. Sorry about that. They was trying to Uber Eats deliver, and we didn't order nothing. I was trying to tell them it ain't ours.
You was trying to get that free meal. Cut it out. We already know.
Hey, I thought about it, but I just
ate,
so I let it slide.
Grabbed a few fries and then handed it back to him like, nah, this ain't even mine, bro.
Sincere, you heard the question?
Run it by me again.
All right. You and your girl going over to your family or your friend's house, and you get in a little argument. Are you gonna walk in the family or friend's house with a mask on your face and pretend like nothing has happened, or are you gonna keep it 100 and show your feelings?
Okay, so that's easy for me. That's easy for me. You see my name, Sincere 7. So I threw all my masks away. And what's funny is this literally just happened a few days ago.
Oh.
Just happened a few days ago. Argued in the car, and when we're walking in, it's my niece's graduation. All her friends is there, my sister there, her husband, all of that. We arguing in the car, okay? Because she said something that just totally pissed me off, right?
Bobby just said that.
When we get there, she goes in and she goes into her mode. And she starts talking to everybody, this, that, you know, going through her little thing. Me, I go to the bar and I sit there and I complain about her. See, this why I don't be hanging out with her when she drunk. Like everybody over there having their conversation. I'm over there venting. I'm going to vent. I vented for about 30 minutes. And then after I was done, I was like, all right. And then I was done. So that's me. Like, you know what I mean? Now I tell you, if it was, now that's family. So it was my sister's house. So it's like, my sister know I'm emotional. I ain't got to hide this. If it was like a business meeting or some type of training seminar, that stops as soon as I touch the doorknob. That's different. You know what I'm saying? But y'all said family. Oh, family, y'all gonna hear us argue. Because you're gonna see me looking at it funny, you're gonna wonder why. Well, I don't want to explain tomorrow. You can just hear it right now while it's going on. You feel me? So
Y'all
yeah, I'm
know,
just gonna play it real.
y'all know Sincere is lying. I can't do this with y'all.
Hey,
Look at the smile.
But I ain't hiding behind upstairs. She's sitting right here. She's sitting right here. I ain't lying.
Sis, you can speak up, baby. You gotta speak up for us on this phone now. It's a few women left.
I feel the same way. I'm gonna be the same way. We about to let it know what it is right here, right now. I ain't
There
hiding
you
behind nothing.
He talking about he put a mask on. Man, Sincere, quit playing.
I went too long having to hide who I was. I ain't doing that shit no more. You about to get this raw. You know what I'm saying? I got attitude because he get on my fucking nerves.
We
We
give
can't do anything about it because he probably gonna get on yours too.
That's right. We give each other the safe space to say how we feel. As long as we don't disrespect each other, put our hands on each other.
Smile told
we
on
have
you.
a
You
safe
talking about
space. Say how you feel.
The smile
Amen
told
to
on you.
that.
You thought you was gonna go in like the angel. Yeah, I just let it. No, he was. You funny, Sincere. Shout out to y'all,
Hey,
man. Shout
can
out
I
to
ask y'all a question, Sincere?
Yeah, for sure.
Wait, while y'all both there, when y'all have an argument or disagreement or something, how long do y'all stay mad?
That's a good one.
So I'm gonna tell you, I'm the one that I can stay mad all day, and I can take it till waking up in the morning. And when you wake up and you yawn and you look at me, I just look at you like, I'm the one that can stay mad. She is excellent at coming in the room and being like, look, I don't like this energy. How long are we gonna do this? Can we just stop being mad? Can we just, she'll come at me and just ask me, what will make you feel better? Like, stop pouting. Why are you acting like that? You Cancer moon sign. Ugh. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like,
it's
all
a
right, let
new
me put my
day.
macho
She like,
back
babe,
on.
let it go.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So no more than a day, but usually not even that long. Usually, like, because again, we give each other the safe space to say how we feel. So now it pretty much comes out as we're feeling or going through. We express it, and if we don't agree, we'll go back and forth until we come to something, and then we just keep it moving.
That's what's up.
Okay. So, Bobby, one question for you. What kind of advice would you give on how to keep your cool?
You have to be like, I communicate my next move. I don't just be like, let me go and dip off and look, I need some time to process things, because you give it an effort to unravel the issue. You take that time and talk. And if it starts to get worse and worse, you have to stop and be like, well, for me, I'm like, hey, look, this isn't getting any better. Let's just take some time and let me go and clear my mind. And then I'll see you later. We can talk about it another time.
Okay.
It just keeps you from, again, at me as a man, I know that I'm going to be loud and things like that. And this is just, I don't want that energy. So I have to take that time, because throwing it out there just like that, and you thinking you communicating and getting through the problem, but sometimes it just gets worse. Exactly. So you just say, look, I'm gonna just go take some time to clear my mind, and we can talk about this another time.
Pull out them dinner plates.
All right. Cleveland, what you got to chime in with?
I would say for most situations, I think that the mask is better. Because I was thinking about what my man had said. So suppose you're talking in the car on the way to work, and you can't let that go. So now you walking in your office with this negativity and mad about something, and you taking it all out on your coworkers, your subordinates. Now, unless the problem has to do with the people that you're going to see, then definitely, why are you going to ruin whatever it is that they're trying to do because you have an attitude, or because your problem is with your person that you're in the car with? They didn't do it. That's a problem that you and I have, and I'm a very private person. So unless, they're the people that we have a problem with, us ruining their thing, like you said, I'm going here and ruin the baby's birthday party. No, that's not how you do in the family. You don't go in there and ruin the baby birthday party because you and she can't get along. I want to, of course, big up, Heather J, Red, and you, Trina, too, because I've never seen you at a host boo. You doing your thing. I got to give it to you. And I believe me, I got big love for, the Yardies, for Jamaica. For real.
Bless up yourself.
Yes. You seen me lick a shot. I was like, whoa, But yeah, unless, of course, your problem is with the people that you're going to see, bringing your drama and your attention to their thing. If you can't get past it long enough to, deal with them and do what you came to do, yeah, maybe you shouldn't go. And that's kind of how I feel about it.
All right, I like that. So, Dr. Watkins, sum it up.
Get up. Okay, yeah, I got 3 things I want to say. First of all, Sincere 7. Where is he? He just disappeared. Man, his lady gets a gold star for the night. Like, that's what you do when you have disagreements. You're the person, you need to be the one person that's going to circle back and say, come on, we don't need to do this. Let's do it. That's called repair. And I talk to so many of my couples about who's the first person to repair when you get off the wagon. So bravo to you for that. That's called repair. And that it's not the disagreements that make a relationship fall apart. It's the lack of repair that make relationships fall apart. And so y'all two are strong. First of all, you're not apprehensive about saying what's on your mind. And a lot of people are very uncomfortable. When you start talking about feelings, you start having conflict. So many people are so uncomfortable, they don't even want to face it. So the two of you will be together forever based on what I'm seeing here. I wish a lot of my other couples could be like you guys. So wonderful for that. The second thing I wanted to say was that I think if you're having a conflict and it's an important event, I think you need to just call a truce. Let's just time a time out, depending on the nature of the disagreement. I mean, it could be something like detrimental. That could be like a huge betrayal in the relationship where it's just like, I don't even want to be around you right now. So maybe, so if you can call a truce and you feel like you could really adhere to that agreement, because I think relationships are all about agreements and following through on your agreement. If you know you cannot hold it in and follow through, maybe it's not a good time for you to go. You're just not in the right mind space to put, I don't know if necessarily you're putting a mask on. It's just if you call it a truce and say, let's just plan to talk about this when we have time. We don't want to rush ourselves into solving this issue before we attend this event together. Let's just put it aside. We'll talk about it in the morning over breakfast, and we'll just talk about it then, and then follow through on that agreement. It's very important that you follow through on that. So that necessarily doesn't mean it's a mask. It could just be, we'll just talk about it later, but we're still good. It's not detrimental to our relationship. So that's the second thing. And the third thing I wanted to say was, I was actually at a gathering. I have one of my neighbors had a gathering at her house. She's Filipino. By the way, one of my best friends is Filipino. And I don't know if anybody is friends with a Filipino person.
They go off.
Y'all have never had a friend like a Filipino, because they're kind of like culturally, they're like similar to Black culture. I don't know what it is. I see some people nodding.
Yes.
But I went to this Filipino party, and it's food, like the whole living room was full of food everywhere. It's like food for 1,000 people, okay? And the husband and wife who threw the party were going through a divorce. And the wife was in the kitchen, all of her sisters and everybody was surrounding her in the kitchen, and she was holding court about what her husband was doing that was getting on her nerves, and they were embracing her, and you could hear them talking in their dialect or whatever. I didn't know what all they were saying. And then she would be expressing herself, and then they would stop and look at the husband, and then just go on. And the husband, he just looked so helpless. He didn't have anybody helping him. He was singing karaoke songs. He was singing his heart out, love songs on karaoke, and I could tell he couldn't do anything else. He had a beer in his hand. He was drinking, and he was singing karaoke all night while the wife was holding court with all her little sisters. She had a lot of sisters.
Oh.
And he knew he couldn't say anything because they were going to be going after her. But I would tell you, it was one of the best house parties I've ever been to. No one parties like Filipino families. We were singing karaoke till 4 a.m.
It just reminds me what you said earlier in terms of the man not having
was by himself.
The support system.
No emotional with the mic in his support, no nothing. I think I saw a hand. Was that sincere or did he?
Oh man, it was over there just bad.
Oh, there he is. You had something to add, sincere. I saw your hand up.
No, I'm good.
You're good. Okay.
Oh wait, I didn't talk about how people can find me. I forgot.
Man,
this topic is so interesting.
Go ahead, Dr. Watkins.
I just want to get into the content. Okay. You can find me on Instagram. I think Instagram's the best way to find me, to get a hold of me. I check my DMs on Instagram. And it's Coaching with Dr. Alicia on Instagram.
Awesome. All right. Well, guys, I have thoroughly enjoyed myself for the night, and I hope you enjoyed me as your host for the very first time in front of the camera, not behind the camera, not behind the scenes with Mr. Producer. But before we close it off, I am going to hand it over to what our other host would say, Big Tim, and have him close out the show. Timothy?
All right. Hey, everybody. I definitely want to thank you guys for being a part of the show tonight. It was awesome. Heather, Bobby, Edison, Big Red, Dirty Red. I mean, you guys came through with the conversation, the perspectives, and then all of it was helpful. And that's the thing, because it's like I could take something out of, from everything that you guys said and apply exactly what I needed to, to my situations. And I'm sure everybody else could do the same to theirs. So I definitely want to thank you guys. Definitely want to say congrats again to Detroit Barbie on the reality TV show. We're also wishing George Golliday well. Hope you get better soon so you get back on as host. But speaking of hosts, she been kind of hiding on me because I didn't know she could do this. This is the first.
Get her again.
I was a little panicking. I ain't gonna lie. Because I know I can't host. I ain't never hosted nothing before in my life, and I stay behind the scenes. But Trina did her thing tonight.
Yeah,
so I'm very proud of her. Thank you for saving this because I didn't want to cancel it. We had to do
Trina,
it. So.
Thanks for the DM. And you, I ain't gonna even say how that message came. When you call, I'm gonna pull up. You got.
I know you is. You were ride or die for real. So I got you.
Right, sick and all. There you go. Sick and all, sitting here. Sun that flew in here like 3-4 times to fill me up a cup of water, but y'all got me.
I appreciate you too. We do got some shows coming up 2023. This was our last show for the year. January 25th, you can see us at Cola Lounge. That's going to be our first live show since we've done live shows before COVID. So I guess in the meantime now, that's what we're about to start doing is rehearsing and getting that back together for the live shows. Virtual shows, we have our next virtual show coming up February 1st. And then this is something too that we've already decided. We're making the virtual shows free. So that's going to be something that we give to everybody, throughout the year. Now, virtual shows are going to be free. So please tell your people, hop on. If you know somebody going through something or have something that they want to submit, as a question, please tell them to do that. For Talent Showcase, please reach out to Starboard Mind Records. Speaking of that, shout out to Dwallscantalk for orchestrating the excellent show tonight. He puts a lot of hard work into editing the videos, the Talent Showcase, and just making sure everything runs smooth. So big ups to him. Other than that, I have nothing else for you guys tonight. Many thanks. That's all I can really say to you guys. Thank you. But stay tuned. Please look forward to more shows. You can follow us at Heart to Heart RTS on Instagram and Facebook, or actually all social media pages. and have a good night. Please stick around, connect with people. Got a couple producers, movie producers currently on. So if you have any questions or would like to connect with any other panelists, comfort wear, or learn about radio, learn how to host a radio show. They're on right now. So please take advantage and get to know them. Other than that, good night, you guys. And if you guys have any questions for me or Trina, we'll stick around too. So we'll be here and you guys could just fire away. There she go. All right. So other than that, thank you guys. I hope you guys really
good job, Trina.
Thank you.
Great job.
Drive me over. Thank you so much.
I follow
a question.
you guys on social media.
Yes, very good job, Trina.
Cleveland, what's yours, man?
Is Cleveland on social media? You are on social media, Cleveland?
Cleveland slide in, slide out. Cleveland don't want nobody to hit that DM.
Yes, slide in. Cleveland, I'm gonna catch you at the restaurant somewhere. I'm gonna catch you at the restaurant. Yeah.
Okay, because of the work I used to do, I kind of stayed off of social media, and I really haven't got back on. So I kind of keep it on the low. Wall's my dude. I didn't know my man since back in the day, and I'm here to support him. I'm here to support y'all. I got much love for y'all. Thank you.
Cleveland, that's okay. We're gonna catch you at Starbucks. Ain't nobody playing with you. You can't have
Starbucks, basketball game, Bonefish. You'll catch me somewhere. I ain't mad about that.
If you catch me at a Lions game or a basketball game, don't you call out my name. I'm telling you, I'm into the game. Hey, that's bet day. Don't shoot. Hey, you better throw the head up.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, red. Yeah. All right.
Oh, that's dirty. Oh, she up in the game today? Oh, I wonder if she betting. That's me.
Hey, I have a question. Where can we see the recordings?
So that
it's on. Yeah, you can go.
It's on Pharcyde TV. So YouTube, Pharcyde TV, and then you'll be able to see them all on there.
All right, Dr. Watkins, in the chat, if you are able to scroll up in the chat, I had put something that says, oh, it's not in there.
Or share one of your YouTubes inside of our DM. That way we can follow you on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. I am going to add it. So give me 1 second. Well, more than 1 second. Like probably a minute. Let me get it together.
I can wait, Trina. You be hitting the wrong page. You don't be hitting the message. I don't know why you love my dreads page so much. Probably because I'm going to change that.
That's not the one you use?